Welcome back to another video, Jets fans. We got our schedule for this upcoming season. I did make a video yesterday on who we play each week and did give a little info on them. I did mention though in that vid that I will be making a record prediction, so here it is. So in this video, I will tell you what I think will happen this upcoming season, what their record will be, and even a score prediction too weekly. So let's get right into it. So week 1, we got the Steelers at home, and I'm gonna pick the Jets. I do think they start the season 1-0 in the new Glenn era. The Steelers are a question mark. We don't know who their QB will be as of now. Will it be Mason Rudolph? Will Howard? Will they sign Aaron Rodgers? They did trade George Pickens away and don't have the best depth at wide receiver now. They do got a good defense, but there are some questions. Will TJ Watt hold up due to contract extensions? I did like what they did, though, in the draft besides Jack Sawyer, but that could be because of TJ Watt. I don't know what could happen, but I do think we start the year 1-0. So give me the Jets 27, Steelers 17, week 1. Week 2, we going up against the Bills at home, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think we win. I think we upset the Bills and start the season 2-0. Whenever it's a home game against the Bills, we usually put up a fight. It's usually a closer game that could go either way. I mean, the Commanders put the league on notice last year against the Bengals. I think we do the same against the Bills. I love their draft. Loved Maxwell Harrison in the first. They got TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, Deone Walker. I think it's going to be a really good and close match, but I do think the Jets upset the Bills here in week 2 and win 23-17 and remain undefeated for the year. So week 3, we got the Bucs in Tampa, and I do think the Bucs win, but it's going to be a closer match than people realize. They got a really nice looking team. Love their draft. They have so much talent everywhere. Got Mike Evans, got Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving, drafted one of my favorite players in the draft in Emeka Egbuka. You got Levante David, Antoine Winfield on defense. It's going to be a tough but close match as they got talent all around. I do think our win streak ends here though, and we lose to the Bucs 24-17. We would be 2-1 as of now though. So week 4, then it's the Fins in Miami. It's a primetime game on Monday Night Football, and I do think the Jets win again and start the year 3-1. I think it will either be a close game like last year when we lost 32-26 to them, or it can be a blowout like when we won 40-17 a couple years ago. I did not necessarily like what they did this offseason, but a couple of picks in the draft. They did lose to Ron Armstead because he retired. There is drama with Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Ramsey could get traded in the next couple of weeks. Overall, kind of an unknown team this season, but I think the Jets are going to win 31-14 on Monday Night Football and start the year 3-1. Week 5, we are playing Dallas at home, and this is going to be a really good game. I do think the Cowboys beat us, but in a very tight match. I think it'll come down to the very last second in which Dallas kicks a game-winning field goal. When you look at what the Cowboys did this offseason, they improved a ton. One if not the best offseason out of every team. Drafted Tyler Brooker, Donovan Izaraku, Siobhan Revel, Jaden Blue. They even traded for George Pickens. Overall, a really good offseason for the Cowboys. I think it will be a really close match, though, but I think Dallas does win 21-20, and we are 3-2. Week 6, it's an international game, and the Jets are playing Denver in London. So similar to the Dallas game, I think it will be a close game, but I do think the Broncos also win. It's considered a home game for us, but the Broncos are going to be just really tough. They signed Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, drafted Jedi Byron. They got Knicks, signed Evan Ingram, drafted RJ Harvey. Going to be a really tough but exciting match. Their D just got even better, and it was arguably one of, if not the best defenses. It's just a unit that just got even scarier. I do think the Broncos win, though, and I think the final score will be 24-14 Denver, and we fall to 500, and our record as of right now would be 3-3. Week 7, we are playing the Panthers at home, and I do think we win this game. I did love what the Panthers did this offseason, both offensively and defensively. They really addressed the defense, though. Signed Trevon Moehrig, a guy I really wanted the Jets to sign, but we did get Cisco. I was cool with that. I wanted either of the two. Signed like 3 pretty solid interior defensive linemen. Drafted Ted McMillan in round 1. Got another weapon for Rice. Got Nick Scott and Princely Uman Millian on the edge. A team that is going to put up a solid fight in the NFC if Bryce plays the way he played in the second half of the season last year. I think it'll be a closer game, but I do think we take the edge. I think we win 24-17 at home. Week 8, we are playing the Bengals in Cincinnati, and I am predicting an upset here. I think we are going to beat the Bengals. Remember the Mike White game? I think something like that can possibly happen here. I think it'll be a high-scoring match. I think it's either going to be a real high-scoring match, back and forth with points, or it could be a blowout. I did not like how the Bengals addressed the offseason at all. They really needed to address their trenches and their secondary and basically did nothing. They really wanted to keep both Chase and Higgins together, and I thought that was kind of dumb. I think between both of them, they're making around $70 million combined. I think they should have traded T. Higgins for like a second-round pick and a little more in the draft this year or last draft. And now Trey Hendrickson is getting annoyed because he deserves an extension. And I believe they should have extended Trey Hendrickson instead of T. Higgins. And now they don't have that much cap to extend him. They did take Shamar Stewart, though, in round 1. But I don't really like him at all. And I don't think he was that good of a prospect. I think this could end up similar to a Hassan Reddick situation last year with us. But also, same with the O-line. They basically neglected it. It's not very good. I think we could have a solid game. I do have an upset here in Week 8, and I have the Jets winning 34-17 against the Bengals in Cincinnati and having a record of 5-3 heading into the bye. So then Week 9, we have the bye week, and as of right now, our record would be 5-3. And then the following week, in Week 10, we are playing the Browns at home, and I think we are going to beat the Browns. I didn't like what they did this offseason when they extended Myles Garrett. I did think that was a bad move. They probably aren't going anywhere for a couple of years and could have landed an absolute haul for him. Could have had tons of draft capital to build for the future, and instead they used it on a 30-year-old edge who's still arguably the best edge, not trying to diss the Browns. By paying Garrett about $40 million a season when they have other needs is ridiculous. They don't have a great O-line, somewhat injured defense. I think we win 27-13 here in Week 10 and move to 6-3 on the year. Week 11, we are playing the Pats in Foxborough, and I'm going to be honest, I think this game is going to be a really good game. I do think the Jets win, but barely. This Pats team scares me a ton. Got a completely new look team, surrounded me with tons of talent in Kyle Williams, Stephon Diggs, Travion Henderson. A team that looks pretty solid on paper. Definitely a nice matchup between two younger teams. I do think we come out on top, but barely. I think it comes down to the last second. And I think we come out on top and win 27-24 and move to 7-3 on the year. Week 12, we playing the Ravens in Baltimore, and I'm not really looking forward to this matchup. I think it could be more of a defensive game on both ends. I think it could be kind of close, but I do think Baltimore wins. They're just a good team all around, and they're going to win 24-13, and we fall to 7-4 on the year. Week 13, we play the Atlanta Falcons at home, and I do think the Falcons will win. They have so much talent everywhere, and the key needs on the team they upgraded. The defense was the Falcons' biggest weakness last year, and they definitely upgraded. The Falcons improved the D a ton by drafting Jalen Walker, got James Pierce Jr., drafted Xavier Watts and Billy Bauman in rounds 3 and 4. Penix showed a ton of flashes. Got two really good duos on offense in Bijan and Tyler Algier, and then Drake London and Darnell Mooney. They do already have a solid O-line. The only real question mark was the defense, and they definitely cooked. I think it could be a close game, but I do think they will win, and I think the final score will be 20-17, and we fall to 7-5. Week 14, it's the Fins again, but at home, and I think we sweep the Fins. I think we do win. I don't know how they'll play here in the cold, but we saw last year, and they did lose. Yes, Tua didn't play, but it really wasn't that close. They didn't really invest in the O-line. Lost some key players all around. They did draft Kenneth Grant, though. I do like him. They could trade Ramsey in the next coming weeks, like I said earlier, so they could need another corner. I don't really know their depth, but maybe they have someone. They did also lose Javon Holland, but did sign Ashton Davis, a former Jet, and Ifeita Melifonwu. So it's not like the best secondary, and I do think we have a pretty solid rushing game this game. And I think we keep rolling and win this game 38-17 and are now 8-5 on the year. Week 15, we play the Jags in Jacksonville, and I think the Jaguars will beat us. This is going to be another tough but exciting matchup. Drafted Travis Hunter, have Liam Cohen now. I think they do win a really close match that ends up in overtime. I do think they win 23-17 though, and as of right now, that means we would be 8-6 on the year. Week 16, we got the Saints in New Orleans, and I'm going to say we win. We should beat the Saints. They didn't really do much this offseason, but I did like what they did in the draft besides Tyler Show. Not to mention, we got news the other day that Derek Carr did retire, same with Ryan Ramczyk. They could be sellers at the deadline too, as they need to free up cap. They could possibly lose Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. There is a rumor that the Jets could trade for Olave, so there is a high chance that maybe something can happen. And if the Jets are doing well, they could possibly land another weapon for Fields to throw to, who he does have chemistry with. So give me the Jets winning 34-13 here and moving to 9-6. Week 17, then it's the Patriots at home, and I also think we sweep the Patriots. We play like we're super close to the playoffs, and if we do win, we do get confirmed into them. I think everyone plays really well just to see if we can get in. Think it might not be as close as the other game, but it's still a solid game. But I think the Jets will win 31-17, would now be 10-6 on the year, and have locked in out of their last few remaining spots in the playoffs, whether it's the 5th or 6th seed. So I think they actually do get confirmed into the playoffs with this win right here against the Patriots at home. Lastly, Week 18, it's the Bills again in Buffalo, and we lose. I think we sub everyone now. We want no injuries. We want a fully healthy team ready for the following week. The Bills are fighting for the first seed in the AFC, and they get it with this win. I do think the Bills will win 28-12, and our final record for the year is 10-7. So I think this is what will happen this year. I do think the Jets can beat this year's Denver Broncos. Everybody doubted Bo Nix and Sean Payton, and look what happened. I do think something similar can happen this year with us. Everyone doubted us as of right now, and then some key wins like the Bengals and Bills can prove some haters wrong. I know Jets fans say it every year about making the playoffs, and then we end up playing terribly. I think something will change though this year. As I said earlier, we pull up Broncos. We don't have the worst schedule for a first-time head coach also. I do think something special can happen. Anyways, this is my prediction for the Jets this upcoming season. I have us with a 10-7 record and making the playoffs as the 5th or 6th seed. Let me know what you think of this video. What do you think the Jets record will be? Thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.